Welcome, ASCA members. This is the June Board of Directors conference call. Present today, I have Ann, Carol, Donna, Denise, Jan, Liz, Susan, and myself, Rick. We will start tonight's open session with the board vacancy that we have. The board has discussed each applicant in detail, and at this time I would like to open the floor for a motion to accept one of our applicants.
This is Denise. I move to appoint Jody McLane as the interim board member to finish Gina Larson's term.
Thank you, Denise. Do we have a second?
This is Donna. I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Thank you, Denise. So we have a motion to appoint Jody McLane to finish out the term vacated by Gina Larson, effective immediately. So we will call for discussion, and I'll go down the list. Ann, any discussion?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Carol?
I have no discussion. I would just like to thank everyone that applied. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Donna?
I have nothing else.
Thank you, Donna. Denise?
I have no further discussion, but I also would like to thank all the applicants.
Okay, thank you, Denise. Jan?
I also would like to thank all the applicants and have no further discussion.
Okay, thank you, Jan. Liz?
Yes, thanks to all the applicants, and I have nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Susan?
I have no discussion. Also, I'd like to thank each and every applicant for submitting and being willing to serve this organization. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I too would like to thank all the applicants. When we needed you guys the most, you guys stepped up, and I truly appreciate that. The board would like to extend our sincere gratitude to all who applied for the vacant board position. We appreciate your efforts and enthusiasm. We want to commend all candidates for their passion and dedication to ASCA. Your talent and potential are remarkable, and we hope to collaborate in the future. Thank you to all. So I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion passes. Thank you to the board. Next on the agenda for tonight is the May 2023 Treasury Report. Jan, that would be your item.
Yes, in the Dropbox is the summary for May. Our beginning balance is $74,019.29. Our ending balance is $49,192.84. If we go through down past into the profit loss pages, comparing May to the same time frame, January to May, you will see in the income fashion, the membership dues are down, but our program income is definitely holding strong, and our registry is also down. We're beginning to slightly see, we haven't actually seeing any of the Aussie Times benefit because we've still been paying for publishing that's happened in the past. since this is our first one coming up that's not published. And the same with the printing. We're still not seeing decreases in the postage area and some of those areas. So still looking that we need to be careful and continually looking for things to work forward, which I know we are continually discussing and looking at. On the positive note, if we go over to the finals page information, the finals fees for May, that number's at $8,490.50 this month. So that's putting us over the 30,000 mark, which gives us a good feeling for going forward and having the finances and that people are out supporting our programs, and we really appreciate that. Also in the Dropbox is the payables. And I know that Susan also prepared a more detailed one of these that's comparing each month, which should be very usable for us. And seeing that the bills that are being paid and what's been handled is on this sheet. And the outstanding, there's just one item on the outstanding, and looking through all the credit cards, that has all been reconciled with invoices. So that all also looks good. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to handle them, or if there's any additions to it, I would accept any additions.
Okay, I'll start off with the questions. Jan, I was looking through the Chase credit cards and I saw a $477 charge for Dogster magazine for the June and July edition, I'm assuming. I'm just wondering if this is something we want to continue to do. Is this just for a 2-month edition? Was this a year? I'm just trying to wrap my head around this price of $477 for the June, July edition. And I don't know if you know anything about.
I don't know anything
but-
about this one, but almost every month there's some item that's related to ads. Hopefully maybe we can review which of these areas actually bring us interest. I don't know what that Dogster publication is. So I did see that on here and had notes to follow up on it.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we're getting our bang for the buck out of this charge. So I would like to investigate that a little bit more if we could. And that would be a savings right there. Maybe it's a good thing to do, but maybe it's not good right now. So just something for you and the board to consider
Okay.
down the road. Thank you. Any other comments for Jan?
This is
Okay.
Carol. I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Carol.
So when I was looking at the things, payables, it said that the cleaning service was $6,000. Is that for the year? What is that?
We had that on email. It was for since July, and we have since stopped that service. And I believe Susan and Rick have looked into a different service.
Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, thank you, guys. Hearing none, would anybody like to make a motion to approve the May Treasury report?
This is Donna. I'll make a motion to approve the May treasurer's report.
Thank you, Donna.
This is Carol. I'll second it.
Thank you, Carol. So we have a motion by Donna and a second by Carol to approve the May 2023 Treasurer's Report. Any other discussion? Okay, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any disapprove? Any abstentions?
I will abstain since I prepared it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jan. So motion approves. The next one is item number 3, improvements to the business office. Susan, this was your recommendation. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Okay, so you all have been in that business office and you know some of the disrepair that it's in. So basically what I would like to do, and with Donna and her husband Mike and my husband and Rick, is we're gonna do a lot of clean out next week and hopefully get like all the bugs and fecal matter out of the storage area in the back of the building. And we're going to accomplish that by actually discarding some metal filing cabinets that are not in use and will not be in use, and they're tucked away in a corner, and a bunch of other things. So while we're doing this, I really want us to make this a better place for them to come to work every day. There's a sofa in the front waiting area that has been there for lots of years, shall we say. It's just gross, dirty, nasty. So what I would like to do is, while we have the manpower here and available, go ahead and ditch that and replace that with a couple of chairs. Ann and I have had a little bit of discussion on the style of the chairs, and that definitely is going to be something that we can decide on and just make it where it's a little brighter in that area. Granted, it may not be used a bunch, but if we can make it nicer to walk into for just a little bit of money, I think it would be money well spent. The other thing that I really want to happen is to replace the toilets, or at least the one that is used most, to a chair height elongated toilet versus the old standard height round bowl. I don't know how many of you guys in your own homes have, I don't consider it a luxury, but a toilet that is at least comfortable. And I've already priced those. They're like right at $100 each. We've got 2 husbands that'll be here that are very capable of installing those. And where we are located, we don't have to have a permit or hire and pay the outrageous fees of having a plumber come in and do that. That's something that these husbands of ours are perfectly willing and able to do. If that's gonna, be okay, that would be awesome. The mirror in the women's restroom is just terrible looking. So I would love to be able to spend, I can get a mirror for about $69. So replace that mirror, replace the toilet, and put a fresh coat of paint in at least the women's bathroom. But whatever we do in there, I'd really like to do in the other bathroom as well. So honestly, if we feel like we could spend $1,000 to make the workplace more pleasant, I would really appreciate that support. And I know that the ladies that are employed there would as well. So I'm just putting it out there for consideration. I know times are tough, but I also feel like we all know that we underpay according to rates across the state for what these people are doing. And it's just one way to let them know that we do appreciate them. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. So I'm gonna go around and let each director comment on this topic. Ann?
Yes, as Susan said when she first sent out the email, it's like, ooh, I have tons of ideas. But I absolutely agree with this. I think the resources that we'll have available next week, the able bodies, that we could do a lot for a little. And so, yeah, I totally agree, and happy to help in any. Oh, and another thing just to say that I thought about in terms of painting. A lot of times if you like go into Home Depot or paint stuff or paint places, they have like special orders that didn't work out, and you can get like really inexpensive paint, like gallons of it, because it was like just slightly off from the order. Now, I'm not saying that we should get like fuchsia or anything, but they normally have, like any paint place, a lot of times they have special orders they can't sell, so they sell it at a really deep discount. It's just something to keep in mind for finding a paint color for paint. But I am all for it and happy to help whatever links investigation I can do. Thanks, Susan.
Okay, thank you, Ann. Carol?
I would be in favor of making the improvements. We have, especially since we have guys that are capable of doing stuff and they're on site, like I would definitely take advantage of the guys. Donna, you should be proud of me. That's all I have.
Thank you, Carol. Donna?
Good job, Carol. Yes, I think that while we're out there, while we're all together, is a good opportunity to get as many of the repairs and things done that we can do. Not having to pay labor will save us a lot of money. And definitely there are some things that are really in a state of disrepair that need to be taken care of. So I would be in favor of this.
Thank you, Donna. Denise?
I'm in favor of it. You know, the office is an aged building, but there's no reason it needs to look like that. And so when you have a lot of help, I think that's a great thing to, you never want to waste help or look a gift horse in the mouth. And great suggestion by Ann on that paint deal. I had not ever thought of about that, but I love fuchsia, so I don't have a problem with that. Anyway, whatever works out, I know you'll do a great job, Susan and Donna. And thank you so much for taking this on. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Denise. Jan?
I have no issues since we have the workforce. We're not paying for manpower, and hopefully it'll be around 1,000 or less, and it'll make a better workplace for all the employees and happier walls and help with the value of the building. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Liz?
Yes, I agree. I think it will be money well spent. I think it's long overdue. That building has been drab for a long time, and I think anything that we can do to make the environment better for our staff is a plus. So yeah, thank you, Susan and Donna.
Thank you, Liz. So Susan, I'll skip you and I'll go next, and then I'll let you wrap it up. I guess I have a little bit different view on this. This work is needed, and we do have the manpower that will be at the office next week. I guess I just question with our financials, do we do it right now? One of the recommendations or ideals that I've come up with is, I know we have members that send stuff to the office all the time for the women, for the office staff, you know, for Ray that's at the office. I'm just wondering if, once again, you know, I'm sure I'll get accused of begging, but it wouldn't take very much for the membership at this time to kick in some improvements for the office staff. I can go either way. I would like to find an alternative way of funding this project instead of ASCA funding this project right now. I don't know if that's something the board would consider, or do you feel like this is not the time to ask the membership to help the office staff or help the people that help them every single day? So that is just my suggestion. $1,000 wouldn't take too long to come up with.
It's like 2 visits to Starbucks for a few people could fund that whole thing. So I would be willing to donate some myself. And hopefully we can have more people that will join in. Thanks.
I actually think that's a great idea, Rick. I think if we could get people to step up, you know, if it was a number of people, it wouldn't take much. And I think that's a great idea. The staff works really hard, and we've said many times they are underpaid. Our pay scale is very low when you look at the state average. And they work very hard. And I think that giving back to them would be a really good thing to do.
Hey, Rick, this is Liz. Could perhaps could we like send out a message and let the membership know what the plan is for the office? And at that point, you know, ask if you have, you know, a few extra bucks or something, send it in so that we can help pay for it.
Rick apparently dropped off the call. I'm sure he will come back.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So we could wait till he comes back. But I disagree. I say we go ahead and do it and not ask for, say that we're doing it, say that we're doing this thing and we're taking advantage of these wonderful board members who are, and their husbands who are coming to help, and that this is the budget, and not to ask for donations, like say like, oh, we need this to do it. Like, we're gonna do it. And here he is. That we are gonna do it. And if people want to donate for it, great. But if not, we're still gonna do it. I don't want to make it, we have to have the money in order to do it. We're gonna do it. Don't make it contingent on donations. That it's like, oh yeah, we know you people, like, send it. Hey, if you can, great. But I actually kind of feel strongly about that. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Ann. Y'all, I really do feel strongly about this. Just being in there, and y'all know that I've felt this way for a while, because it is a bit depressing walking in. So I think we've got some really good ideas. The other part of this that will be coming, and this was something that I was approached about today, the actual chairs that they are sitting in to work certainly are not ergonomically feasible. And most of those employees will switch between two chairs in a day because they are not comfortable with the situation. So just so you know, and if we can approve this, that would be awesome. And I know they would definitely appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
This is Denise. I'd like to make a motion that we do what Susan was suggesting, that we allocate $1,000 to do the work on the office, and that if anybody wants to send money to help out, that's what it would go to.
This is Anne. I will second it. And Rick is still on mute.
With Rick not being here, Susan will have to take over.
Okay, so we have a motion by Denise and a second by Ann to spend an amount up to $1,000 to make improvements to the ASCA business office. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Rick abstains.
You can take over now. Thank you. Motion carries.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. But thank you for taking over. So next on the agenda is item number 4, and that is the loan reminder. We agreed last month to visit this every month and to see if our needs have changed. This is regarding the 26,000 extra dollars that's in the Guarantee Bank and Trust Bank right now for our loan that we took out. We do have to keep $10,000 in that account, but we do have a remaining 16,000 that is sitting there. I'm good to just roll this over to next month. My initial thought was to pay this back on the loan. I am up to doing whatever the board would like to do with this extra money. So I'll go around and see what everybody thinks this month. Ann?
I think that at least until like nationals is over, that we keep the majority of it. But what about, so first of all, I assume we're making our loan payments. What about from that account, just adding a little bit extra each month? I mean, I'm not talking about much. And so, I mean, over the course of the next few months, like maybe drawing it down like $1,000 or $2,000, but just adding that little extra to each payment each month totally helps in terms of calculating interest and everything like that. So instead of in one lump sum, just when we make our monthly payment each month, add a little bit out of that account to just boost it up a little bit. That's kind of my thinking, to try to make just a little bit of headway. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Ann. Carol?
So I'm good with leaving it where it is right now and reviewing it again in another month. I would like to see our balance trending upward, and right now we're not seeing that. So I would definitely want to have that cushion until I see that happening. So I would leave it where it is and just review it again in the month. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Donna?
Um, yes, how much, do you know, Rick, or Jan would probably know how much we paid towards the loan last month?
We did the regular 1,000 payment, and then we had donations from that were put into savings that we received from members, and that got moved. It was around $3,000. I was trying to look for that exact number. And I'd have to do a little more searching. So it was
That's what I
on top
thought.
of the other. Yes. So we
That's-
did pay more than the loan amount last month.
Okay, and I think it was about 3,000 because I thought I remembered that coming through. So we paid about 4,000 last month. So
That's
that is good.
correct, Donna.
Okay, and then with that, I would be okay with waiting, rolling this over and talking about it again next month. That's all I have.
Thank you, Donna. Denise?
I'm in favor of rolling it over next month and taking a look at it. I also think it's a good idea, as Ann said, to supplement our payment a little bit each month, but I think that the majority of it should stay where it is until we're done with nationals, because we need to make sure that nationals, works well. And if we need to have a little boost, that there is something there that we could help out with. After nationals, we can really revisit it and then make a maybe larger payment amount. Thank you.
Thanks, Denise. Jan?
I would like to leave it where it's at and till we see ourselves looking a little more financially strong. I'd like to see our checking sitting more at 100,000 like it usually was instead of where it's sitting now. So I would feel much more comfortable of using that at that point in time. So waiting each month we can have this discussion, and we'll continually move money from savings as we receive it from the membership. And thank you very much for supporting ASCA.
Okay, thank you, Jan. Liz?
Yeah, I think waiting a little longer is fine. I think that we should start seeing, it's going to be puppy season here soon, so maybe registrations will shoot up a little bit and increase. Plus, hopefully, we'll see the effects of some of the cuts that we have made, and then we can take a closer look at it. Thanks.
Thank you, Liz. Susan?
I just believe that we need to revisit this every 30 days until we have a strong footing on the ground. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Susan. So we will readdress this again next month, and Calla will place it back on the agenda for July. Next is the Systems Liaison Report. Jan, this is yours.
Hi, everybody. I believe the committee, they work very hard for us. They are still researching things. They're have all the passwords, and they're making sure that they're working with all members of the office and with Inventive and the manager, and trying to make sure that we have all the information in one place, and that's up and working. They're still working with Inventive to get the Jira and the Confluence moved over to us. They're actually Inventive is working pretty hard with support, trying to figure out how they can do this. I guess where it sits, it's kind of tied with all their businesses. So they're working to separate us out so they can get all the information, so that the IT team would have all the notes and information that went on during that project. They are experimenting by turning on the renewals. And I believe that started last week. So people should be getting renewal notices when they go into their portal if their dues are due. And just know that it hasn't been working for a while. So membership, you might want to check on when your dues are due. So they are actively working on that process to make it work. They're also have access. One of the members works in the cyber areas and has a possibility of having a group do a penetration test for the ASCA portal, which we're still waiting on all the approvals from the board. And this would be pro bono. It would be a training experience for some employees is the way I understand it. And they would do kind of a deep dive and look at how it's working and what's going on. I believe that's all it. They meet every Wednesday and they seem to be working really well together and trying to find solutions to fix some of the problems that are going on. Thanks.
Thanks, Jan. Is there any comments for Jan on this topic? Okay, great. Thank you to the IT committee. They're working really hard and we've got some great experience on there. So I appreciate that. And Jan, thanks for keeping us up to date on that. So the next topic is McLane, and that will be mine. It's time to renew our constant care service agreement with McLane. They keep our office and all the computers up to date, everything running smoothly. And we have a motion on the floor by myself to add multi-factor authentication. That's a tough word. I can't say it. But so we will qualify for cyber insurance. We have been advised that this day and time is very important for us to have cyber insurance. We've never had it in the past. So this quote from McLane will give us the ability to turn on multi-factor authentication. So we will qualify for the cyber insurance. We have a second by Jan Wiesen. The quote, pulling that up. Just bear with me a minute when I get that pulled up. So the quote to renewal for all of their work that they do through the year, plus adding the multi-factor piece, is $2,093.34. So I made a motion to approve this quote to keep our office running smoothly. And should we have any office issues, all we have to do is pick up the phone, call McLane, and they will be right out to service our needs right there. So with that said, I'm going to open it up to discussion. Ann, any discussion on that?
No, nothing. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Carol?
I have nothing further. Thank you.
Donna?
I have nothing.
Denise?
Is that broken up by the monthly payment or do we have to pay it all at one time?
This is a one-time to add that multi-factor piece.
Okay, there's no way they can do it on a month-to-month basis?
We could ask them.
It just might make it a little bit easier, right now than putting out that much money at one time. But I do totally agree that we need it.
Yeah, so that's something we can go back. Susan, maybe since you're in the office a little bit more these days, you could reach out to McLane and ask them if we could add this to our monthly subscription fee that we pay them every month. Okay,
Please correct me if I misunderstood. I thought you said the total was $2,000.
it's
that wrong?
$2,093.34. That is to add the multifunction piece to our contract.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
And the IT committee has blessed this quote. They said that is a fair and honest quote. So that makes me feel a little bit better that it has been looked at. Jan, any comment?
My only is this including the extra backups that was requested by the IT team, or is that a separate contract? I'm trying to.
We have, I haven't, I know the IT committee copied you in on that email, so I
Yep.
don't know if you reached out to them and asked that question. I have not.
Okay. I have not spoke to McLane, so we should probably follow up on that question as well. If you're communicating with them, Susan. But everything the IT committee said is this was a good company. They do a good job and they felt we should continue with them. So I support this expenditure. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Jan. Liz?
Yes, I support this. The committee says that we need it, and it's a good quote. So yes, I support it. Thanks.
Thank you, Liz. Susan?
Okay, just going to make sure when I reach out to McLane, I'm asking for additional backup that was requested. Is that correct, Jan?
Yes, I believe it's in the letter that's in the Dropbox.
Okay.
If it's not,
Okay.
I can get more specifics.
Okay, I will review that and reach out to McLane most likely on Tuesday of next week. Is that soon enough? Because Monday is a holiday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. This is just an added piece to our insurance. We do not have to have it. ASCA has never carried cyber insurance in the past, but our insurance agent feels like in the times that we're living in today that we really need to have that protection. So this is the reason for this motion. Any other comments? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
I'm sorry, any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you. Motion passes. Next agenda item is ASCA's IRS designation. Denise, this is yours.
Oh, hey. I spoke with Cynthia Downing about corporate sponsorship information, and she spoke with the accountant. With her experience with the not-for-profit organizations, she felt that we needed to be a little bit different because of the percentage that there was a 35% that we had to be concerned about, whether I don't remember exactly what it was, but anyway, she talked to the accountant about the whole thing, and we are now a 501c7, and the accountant agreed that we would be beneficial to be a 501c4 because there are no requirements that way, no restrictions on corporate sponsorship. So that would allow her, and she's ready to go forward with this right away upon approval. It would allow her to go out and try to recruit some sponsorships from different companies for our nationals, for ASCA as a whole, and a dog fancy. So when she talked to the accountant, and Jan can, I'm sure, shed some more light on this too. She said that he would that they would charge their regular office rate per hour, and that they didn't feel that it would take more than $1,000 to do this. And they also felt that it would probably take about 10 to 12 weeks to get this done. And by that point, we would be free to try to recruit some sponsorships. So that's all I know about it. Jan can probably tell you more because she's talked to the accountants also. Anybody have any other questions? I mean, we should have asked Cynthia, I guess, to talk about it because she's very knowledgeable about it, but she was certainly in agreement with that. She was the one who actually suggested it, and then she would talk to the accountant about it, and he's very supportive of it. So that's all I know. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Denise. I'll go down the list and see if any director has any comments on it. Ann?
From everything that Cynthia said as our fundraising coordinator, that it makes sense that we have been hampered by our designation as a 501c7. Hampered in like we like on our own, like can't sell merchandise. We can't have stuff from like major sponsors for more than a certain percentage. And so the change to a 501c4 gives us a lot more leeway in how we can raise money and get sponsorships. I went through and looked, trying to help. I mean, if the accountant truly can do it for around $1,000, that's great, because I think we could make that money up in sponsorships, and if we start merchandise in like a month or two. It seems like a great idea, and I am all for it. It doesn't hurt us like any other way. I mean, I only saw benefits. I read through what she said, and I spent like an hour on the IRS website the other day. So I am in favor of it if indeed we can really get a budget from the accountant. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Ann. Carol?
I add,
I am definitely in favor of this. I think we should be able to get a lot more financial input with sponsorships. So I'm all in favor. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Denise, I'll be with you in just a second. Donna?
Yes, I would be in favor of this. I feel like, you know, where we are now is really limited, our sponsorship, and also like to be able to sell products and stuff. So I think this would open up ways for us to bring in more revenue.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Denise?
I forgot to mention that one of the things that Cynthia brought up is that AKC is a 501c4, and we all know that they have corporate sponsorships, and they make a lot of money on it that way for their events. And so it would put us in the same position to be able to go out and solicit from the corporation for sponsorships. So if anybody had any questions, they could check with the AKC website or wherever they list their status on that.
Okay, thank you, Denise. Jan?
I'm in support of doing this. I got the impression from the accountant they didn't know exactly how many hours, but the attorney also supports us doing this move. And I'm not sure if we have much other costs we have involved in making this change. I know that's why we haven't done it, and we kind of tabled it last year was for financial reasons. So That's my only concern is it will bring us in money. I thought she had mentioned a side corporation of a 501c4, so she's not considering that one anymore, Denise?
I don't think that, after talking with her, and I thought that she had changed the thought to being just as 501c4, the whole thing, because there was not a benefit of keeping it a C7. It makes it a lot more feasible for people for tax deductible donations, that sort of thing also.
Right. Yep. Okay, thanks. That's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Jan. Thanks, Denise. Liz?
I'm in favor of this. I think, I mean, we need more information on everything, but I'll be in favor of it. Thanks.
Thank you, Liz. Susan?
I support this as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Susan. So I guess once again, I have a little bit different take on it, especially since it's a financial hit to ASCA. I think that we probably, two things that I'd like to do. Number one is we have a lot of members still with us that built this organization to where it is today. And I really feel like that we should ask the membership how they feel about this. Just because we've got some people still with us that worked long and hard on this. And I personally do not want to just go and change something that our longtime members have put together for us. So number one, I would like to ask the membership to do that. Number two is I feel like there's still a lot of information that we need to understand really well. And I think the membership needs to know this information. So I would like to maybe propose putting this topic back on the agenda for next month and inviting Cynthia Downing on the call with us to kind of fill in the blanks and go over this with us. So the board totally understands, the membership totally understands, and we've also let the membership know something that we're thinking about doing and give them the ability to voice their opinion before something like this is done. That is just my opinion. And once again, I'm just one of you guys, but that would be my recommendation if you guys would approve of that.
Rick, I'll be happy to talk about that.
This is Liz. Yeah, I'm totally good. That's why I said we need more information, and I'm totally good with that, Rick.
Thank you, Liz. Any other comments?
This is Denise. I would be happy to talk to Cynthia and make arrangements for her to be on the next board meeting so that all of this could be clarified and we'd have time to talk with the accountant and make sure the accountant and the attorney that everybody understands exactly what it is. And then we could bring it up a little bit more organizedly for the membership to see also, and then they can write in questions if they'd like ahead of time, questions that they have or comments. If that's good, you just let me know and I'll be happy to talk to Cynthia.
Thank you, Denise.
And this will be changing our membership status as we are now. I mean, those are questions for it. And I had asked Cynthia if she wanted to be on this, but it sounds like Denise and her. So maybe I should get out of the middle of being the liaison and maybe Denise and her, because it's getting confusing.
Okay, thank you, Jan. Any other comments?
Do we have any kind of a timeline? This is Carol, I'm sorry. Do we have any kind of a timeline as far as if we get, how long it would take to get this done? And if we would be able to solicit sponsorships for this year's nationals?
I think Denise, didn't you mention that we're looking at 10 to 12 weeks? Or was that Jan? I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, that's what Cynthia had said. I don't know if he had mentioned a timeline to Jan or not. So I would think that Cynthia could solicit some sponsorships even under our C7. And then if we change it to a C4, so much better for them. But that's, I mean, I don't know how this all works, but it just seems like that might work. But that's just a question to ask those in the know, I guess. But I think it was 12 weeks.
Okay, thank you, Denise. I think that's even more for the reason that we postpone this till next month so we can have a better understanding for us as a board and the membership as well. Is everybody okay with that?
That's fine with me, but we need to also see if this is a change that needs to be in our bylaws as part of this process. So that would be a membership vote.
No, I think Cynthia looked and it just states nonprofit. It does not state what type of nonprofit in the bylaws. I remember reading that from her letter to us. Oh, but I can look.
I can look again too, but it talks about membership driven and all those things. This would change that viewpoint. Just making sure. I agree with Rick. I believe it needs to go to the membership.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, so we'll ask Kala to move that to next month, the July meeting. We will get Cynthia on board to kind of update the board, update the membership, so we're all on the same page. Okay, so moving on, our last agenda item is last month's email business. I would entertain a motion to approve that.
This is Susan. I move to approve the email email business from last month, which would have been May's voting on email.
This is Liz, I second.
Okay, thank you, Susan. Thank you, Liz. We have a motion to approve last month's email business. That would be May's. Any discussion? Okay, calling for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion passes. So this completes our June call. I just want to say that by the time this call is sent out to the membership, our office manager, Ray Fryer, will no longer be with us. Tomorrow is his last day, and I would just like to wish Ray, best of luck. Thank you for your service to ASCA, and I know the board, the ASCA office, and everybody that Ray has touched appreciates what he's done. So hopefully Ray will be able to listen to this and know how much we appreciated what he has done for us. Okay, so that's all I have for this evening, and we will see everybody next month. Thank you.